Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are decoding the mind and tackling what is easily the most destructive, exhausting weather event in human psychology, the overthinking storm. I mean, if you've ever felt completely trapped inside of your own head, like you're just endlessly spinning your wheels, you are in the exact right place. We're going to decode the source material that breaks down exactly why our brains do this, and way more importantly, how we can actually put a stop to it. So, have you ever noticed how quickly the weather can change? Think about it. 1 minute, the sky is bright, the air is perfectly still, everything feels totally fine. But then, boom, almost out of nowhere, the wind picks up, the sky gets super dark, and before you can even find shelter, you are caught in this sudden, absolute downpour. Well, just like the weather outside, the exact same thing happens inside us. We call this our inner weather. You might be having a totally normal day until, abruptly, the wind of loud, chaotic thoughts just picks up and completely surrounds you. It is a wildly universal experience. So what exactly is this phenomenon? Well, the overthinking storm is an endless mental loop. It's either analyzing the past or panicking about an unarrived future. Now, overthinking doesn't just mean thinking a lot, right? Thinking is totally natural. It's necessary for survival. But this storm, this is entirely different. It's when you're lying in bed at night, desperately wanting to just sleep, but the wind of your own thoughts is literally deafening. It's when you want to make a simple decision, but the lightning of self-doubt strikes every single option you look at. Or, it's analyzing a 3-day-old conversation word for word, agonizing over perceived mistakes. If you're going through this right now, I want you to just take a deep breath. Because what you really need to take away from this is simple. You are not broken. You're just caught in the rain. And while we can't stop the rain from falling, this explainer is going to show you exactly how to build a shelter. Section 1. Ancient brains, modern dangers. Okay, let's dive into this. To fix our inner weather and build that mental shelter, we first have to decode human behavior and understand exactly why our fiercely protective brains are storming in the first place. To answer that, we really have to look at our biology. Our brains are these incredible machines designed for one massive, overarching purpose: to protect us. Thousands of years ago, danger meant a literal physical threat. We're talking wild predators in the jungle. To survive, our ancestors had to constantly scan their environment for physical worst-case scenarios. But check out this comparison. Today, your brain is running that exact same outdated survival software, but in a modern world. Danger isn't a wild animal anymore. Today, danger is a bad grade. It's an awkward conversation, an unanswered text, or, career uncertainty. Your brain is scanning the horizon for tigers, but it's only finding an urgent email from your boss at 11 p.m. To your brain, they are the exact same predator. It incorrectly treats these modern psychological stressors as literal life-or-death physical dangers. Section 2. The problem-solving illusion. See, when you overthink, your brain relies on false pattern recognition. It operates on this crazy illusion that worrying about a scenario 500 times will magically figure out a way to keep you safe. And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute hardest truth we have to accept today: the difference between action and paralysis. Think about someone grabbing a hammer and actively fixing a broken chair versus someone just staring at that same chair for 3 hours, completely surrounded by chaotic thought bubbles, imagining 20 different ways it could break. Problem solving changes your reality because it leads to action. Overthinking, on the other hand, leads to complete paralysis. It is just a massive, paralyzing energy drain. This exhausting paralysis usually happens because we fall into 3 specific mental traps. First up, the ghost of the past. This is when you find yourself regretfully replaying old mistakes, like a terrible movie on repeat, desperately searching for things you literally cannot change. Second is the fiction of the future. This is a frantic sprint where you create these tragic, worst-case scenarios that exist absolutely nowhere except in your own imagination. And third, the perfectionism trap. This is the rigid, toxic belief that if you don't make a flawless, perfect choice, your entire life is just going to fall apart. Do any of these sound familiar? For sure. They are the primary engines driving your mental storm. Section 3. 3 tools for shelter. Now that we know what's causing the rain, how do we actually change the weather? Well, you can't fight a storm with your bare hands. You need 3 highly actionable psychological strategies to build a sturdy mental shelter. Let's get into them. All right, tool number 1, the brain dump. First things first, you absolutely have to get the storm out of your head. When heavy thoughts stay locked inside your mind, they bounce around, they multiply, and they create immense chaos. You need an exit valve. So set a timer for exactly 5 minutes. Take a physical pen and paper and write down every single worry, no matter how small or downright silly it feels. Do not edit yourself, just write. Once that anxiety is physically out and on the paper, your brain finally relaxes. It realizes the tension is safely stored, and it literally stops multiplying the chaos. Next up is tool number 2, the grounding technique, specifically the 5-4-3-2-1 rule. Remember, overthinking is essentially mental time travel. Your mind is either living in the past or the future. To stop the storm, you have to violently pull your brain's processing power away from that abstract time travel and anchor it firmly back into present reality. When the anxiety gets loud, try this step-by-step physical inventory. Stop what you're doing, look around, and deliberately name 5 things you can physically see. Reach out and touch 4 things around you. Listen for 3 sounds you can hear right now. Acknowledge 2 things you can smell. And finally, focus on 1 thing you can taste. This technique forces your mind to drop the abstract future storm and reconnect with the concrete reality of right now. Tool number 3 is the action filter. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how it forces us to be radically logical with our remaining anxieties. Ask yourself one simple question. Is this problem actionable in the next 24 hours? If the answer is yes, take one tiny micro step. Action kills anxiety. But if the answer is no, like if you're worrying about what the broad economy will do next year, or stressing over a mistake from 5 years ago, you simply have to let it go. It is unactionable, and holding onto it is just not serving you.
Section 4, Surviving the Rain. Ultimately, true mental peace isn't about forcing impossible, perfect sunny weather every single day. It's simply learning how to navigate your rainy days with the right tools without letting them wash you away.
I want you to actually picture yourself holding a bright, colorful umbrella right now. Just hold that image in your mind. And I want you to say this quote out loud with me. I am holding an umbrella for rain that hasn't even started. Use this phrase to let go of those future fictions we talked about. Just remind yourself that by watching this explainer and absorbing these tools, you're already building your shelter. Take a deep breath. Your inner weather is already starting to clear. So, here is my final provocative question for you. What triggered your last mental storm? Drop it in the comments below. Seriously, getting it out of your head and typing it out is an amazing first step to letting it go. Thank you so much for joining me to decode this incredibly important topic. Let's continue to learn how to forecast our minds together. I'll see you in our next experiment.